Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Talk Sport for another UFC preview. And of course, when I do my UFC content here on Let's Talk Sport, I bring over a very special guest, Mr. Callum Sanderson from Sanderson's show and Kopish. How are you, sir?
I'm great, Luke. I am fantastic. More than you can believe.
Oh,
More than,
when you believe.
more, more than
When
fantastic.
you- oh,
Fantastic. Things are going well on the football side, and we've got a hell of a card, bro.
yeah, got a card because let's be honest, if you've been watching the fight nights like me, they have
Right.
flattered to deceive. They've been so bad, so
Yeah.
I'm
Some
glad.
good fights, but no great cards as such. No, there was
Yeah.
one about a month ago, tell a lie. I can't remember
UFC
who was on.
London was quality,
Oh, yeah, that was phenomenal.
and then UFC 273 was quality up to the main event, which was a bit. Yeah, but apart from that, the cards haven't been great. Font versus Vera was a good fight. Card wasn't great.
Font and Calvin K. I don't know what they train in those gyms, but there is no quit in those walls.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Looks like we might get Piotr Jan versus Cheeto.
Great
next,
fight.
which is-
Great fight.
Which is perfect.
Great fight. I love that fight. Love it.
But back to this
Love
card.
that.
Back to this card. We have two title fights on the card. Trevor Whitman working double time again, getting paid the big bucks. Justin Gaethje versus Charlie Olives, as Dan Hooker would like to say. And then we've got a rematch, 8 years in the making, Carla Esparza versus Rose Namajunas. And then obviously we've got the fan favourite fight, got Chandler versus Ferguson, a real fan's favourite. A bit of a dream match, if you'd say, when Chandler joined in the UFC list of opponents, and he's probably ticked off most of them at the moment. And then obviously on the card we've got Shogun Rua versus St. Preux.
Yep.
And then we've got Cowboy versus Joe Lazone. Is it Lazone?
Lausanne.
Yeah, Lazone in
Yeah.
what I like to call the unofficial Legends League.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
Because they always have a Legends fight on the card. So let's start with the main event. So Oliveira's making his second defense of the title. Yes, his second
Yes.
defense
Yeah.
after submitting Dustin Poirier to prove without a shadow of a doubt he is the king in the division. Obviously facing the number one contender, Justin Gaethje, coming off a win against Chandler, who's on this card. It's gonna be fireworks. It's gonna be fireworks.
Agreed. This is one of the more difficult fights to predict. I mean, we kind of said that about Oliveira and Poirier as well. Although going into the fight, he wasn't even the betting favorite. If I'm not mistaken, he might be the slight betting favorite now for this fight. I'm gonna be real with you. Gaethje is a very, very tough opponent for anyone, but I think an extremely tough opponent for Charles. And the reason I say that, Justin is a quick starter. Charles is a slow starter.
Yes.
Justin hits like a truck.
Those leg kicks.
Leg kicks, but punches as well. And under Whitman, we've seen his punching accuracy and just his movement improve. And yes, he still likes to get into a tear up, but he's a little bit smarter with it now than he was before. And the way Oliveira started the last two fights, he was getting punched about against
Didn't he get
Poirier.
dropped against Poirier?
Yeah,
Dropped it
Dropped
early
against
as well.
Chandler as well. And I don't know if he gets let off the hook if that's Gaethje.
Yeah. I guess with the thing, it's like that quitter thing is he's been allowed to quit, and Justin's really played on that leading up. It's like, oh, he's a quitter. The second I catch him, it's going to be game over. But I feel like the way he's talking about his like nutrition's changed, got a nutritionist is actually looking after what he's doing. This is probably the most hardest title fight to call. Obviously, we know who's probably going to be looming over the hill, rightly or wrongly. It's probably going to be the winner of Dariush Makhachev. That's probably the winner of this fight. But it's going to be super interesting. I just feel like Oliveira can't afford to start slow. Just as you said, started slow in the last couple of fights. If he starts slow this fight, he's probably going to get finished early. However, if he weathers the storm, then I think he's probably going to end up submitting Gaethje, just like Khabib. Because Khabib ate all the punishment and then was like, yep, you're getting tapped out or slept. And I just feel like that he's fighting in front of his dad and in front of his family. And that usually ends in one or two ways. You either win gloriously or lose gloriously as well. Yeah. So that's going to be a massive...
It's interesting you speak about that, though, because, again, Gaethje is renowned to be a fantastic defensive wrestler. Offensively, he doesn't use his wrestling at all. We don't see him rap.
It's mental.
But we also saw the deficiency in jiu-jitsu when Khabib took him down. And Khabib was the first person to really take him down and hold him down. Yeah. And if there's anyone... I mean, Oliveira's wrestling isn't as good as Khabib's, but we've seen it's good enough to take someone down. If he gets Justin to the ground, I don't think Justin would have made up that gap between the Khabib fight to now to deal with Charles Oliveira's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
like Charles Oliveira's jiu-jitsu compared to Khabib's is on a different level. And that's the thing. Look, if I'm Oliveira, do you come out and do you try and shoot straight away? Do you try and take it to the ground as soon as possible? Try and put that thought in his mind and then you start unloading with some of your strikes, keep him guessing? Or do you start standing and try and weather the storm? It's a big risk to take.
Yeah, it's a massive risk. I feel like he's got a 2-round window to survive, then drag it into the championship rounds, which I think he might do, you know, because I just reckon like he's different. He's 10-0 in his last 10 fights, 9 finishes.
That's crazy.
It's crazy considering that he was 10-8. Move up to 55 is a whole nother ball game. It's a whole other ball game. I just feel like with him, I just feel like that he's still really disrespected. I feel like that everyone's like, yeah, Gaethje's he's gonna walk him. It's gonna be light work. Underestimate him at your will. And as predictions go, like if he wins this one, then he's circling that pound for pound list for sure. Because like we've said, that 55 division, the killers division. Like, when you look outside the top 15, there's killers everywhere. So, he's mad disrespected. Predictions for this fight? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I'm actually going to go Gaethje round 1 finish.
What?
I know it's bold.
That's bold.
Oliveira starts really slow. I think Gaethje's going to literally sprint and try and finish this fight. And I think if he catches Oliveira... I think Oliveira gets stopped.
I'm going to go Oliveira by submission round 4. I reckon he's going to weather that storm. And then he's going to get into the ground, hold him. And then the second he sees that neck, he's going to go, thank you. Because he's got the most submissions in UFC history.
Yeah, but here's another thing. We all know Oliveira is all good to get you in an armbar and all that. It's just in tap. Because he said it openly, and if there's one man you've got to believe when it comes to this stuff, he says, I'm not going to tap.
Yeah, and Oliveira will rip his arm off.
He will rip his arm. He will do it. Yeah. So again, that's another thing to consider. We saw Ferguson. And again, when we speak about Ferguson, I've got a little theory on Ferguson, but we'll get onto that when we speak about him. But
interesting. So you're going and new, and I'm going and still.
Yeah, I want Oliveira to win. I like Gaethje, but I want Oliveira to win
because I'm still running my thing. Like, if he beats Makhachev, I'm telling you, Khabib's coming out of retirement.
That's what I want.
Because if anyone finishes is Makhachev, and is holding that belt, Khabib's gonna go. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna smash you, brother. I'm gonna smash you.
Yeah.
So like that's what I want.
Same.
So I'm going with the champ, and still on to the next fight. We got a rematch 8 years in the making. We got Rose making her second defense of a strawweight title after defeating Weili Zhang against the first ever strawweight champion in Carla Esparza, the Cookie Monster. Actually beat Rose 8 years ago in the tough final, tapped her out. This is a classic striker versus wrestler matchup, isn't it?
It is. It's a crazy situation because rarely do you see, if I'm not mistaken, this is the biggest gap. I think, did you say this to me or did I see this somewhere? But this is the biggest gap between winning the championship and then going for the championship again after it's been lost.
I think. I don't know. I think you might have saw that because I definitely didn't send that to you.
Yeah,
That's a
okay.
great stat.
But also, you know, she's getting married the week after this
Oh yeah.
fight.
Oh god, yeah. I've been watching in bed and I'm like, what?
That's mad to me.
I know, it's crazy. Like she must have like a really understanding fiance.
Yeah, he is. That's what she was saying. I was listening to her on the Ariel Hawani show, and like she was just saying, like they were like, yeah, let's just do it. Like everyone knows what I do, who's been invited to the wedding. So if I have a black eye in the pictures, they'll know why. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it, I hear it, but it's a big risk to take. Again, she doesn't seem like the sort of person that's going to let that play on her mind.
No.
Me personally, it would play on my mind. If I was getting married a week later, I wouldn't want to be getting hit in the face.
Yeah.
That being said, though, the difference between both fighters then and now is night and day. Carla Esparza is still a brilliant wrestler, but what she is now is way more aggressive when she gets you to the ground.
Yeah.
However, Rose, her timing, her distance management, her strike variety, and her wrestling defense has improved tenfold. And here's the thing, jiu-jitsu wise, Rose is really good as well. I've got to be real with you. A lot's in Rose's favour.
Yes, 100%. Like this is all about the mental game. I think Carla's riding a 5-fight win streak at the moment.
I think her last loss was it Tatiana Suarez, if I'm not mistaken?
I think so. I think we'll have to look. Well, I think I'll
she's
look
kind of the boogie woman of the division, but again, she's been injured for so long, we don't know what she's going to come back like.
Yeah. I just feel like with this one, it's all about Rose mentally. And I just feel like that at the moment, but there's like a massive gap between her and the rest. And plus, like, Rose is a rematch queen. Like, lost to Andrade, beat Andrade, had a rematch with Wei Li, beat her, rematch with Joanna, beat her.
Yeah.
I think, who did she have her? Oh, who was her first loss against? And
Carla.
No, it wasn't Carla. It was someone else. Rematched them again and then beat them. So but like she wins all of her rematches. So
yeah,
you'd say that it's in her favour to win. However, I think Carla had money problems not so long ago.
Oh, is it?
So I think the fact is that she's at the table to potentially get hold of the belt, and with the belt changes everyone's life. The money's great. I think like she's gonna be hungrier than ever to win that belt.
Yeah.
So she can take it to her wedding, which would be cool. But I'm a massive Rose fan. Like for me, like Rose is one of my favorite fighters.
Same.
Like, the way like her striking is just next. It's like it's next level, and no one comes close.
Yeah.
No one comes close. But the thing with her is all about in here mentally. And do you know what she said about that Andrade fight? The one where Andrade dumped her on her head.
Yeah.
She said that cured her neck injuries. Getting
That's
dumped.
mad.
I was like, what? I was like, what?
Yeah, Carla's last loss was to Tatiana Suarez, who would have she would have had a title shot by now, Tatiana, if she didn't get injured.
Yeah,
but you're right.
She's coming back soon.
If I'm not mistaken, speaking of neck injuries, she's had her fair share of neck injuries as well, which is, I think, what's ruled her out. But you're right. When that happened to Rose, I remember watching that live, and it was just like, like my first thought was,
what a way to lose the title.
I hope I hope she's able to get up and walk, because the way she landed, it looked like that's it. Like she might not walk in. So when I saw her up and about, I was like, cool, she'll come back and fight another day. Yeah. And the mistake she was making, she was just holding the Kimura too long. She was using the Kimura as an escape tactic, but she just kept holding it on, and she got dumped, and then that was it. But you're right, her neck issues have been cured, and she seemed like a completely new fighter now.
Yeah, I just feel like with her, I don't know what more she could do if she successfully defends the belt. Obviously, you're getting Joanna Whaley 2, 3-rounder, disappointed. But I just can't see anyone. Marina Rodriguez coming up, maybe.
I mean, Carla beat Marina.
Carla beat her, and the thing is, I know the question will be like, oh, she can jump up to 25, but for me, Rose seems a natural at 115, and plus she's friends with Valentina anyway, so
I don't think they'll fight. I think they've openly said they won't fight. I think they're really good friends.
Yeah, so I feel like that she'll clean out. I reckon that she'll go on a John Jones-esque multiple title defenses because she's only 29.
But here's the thing, though, bro. You kind of hit the nail on the head. Like, twice she's beaten Joanna, twice she's beaten Whaley. If she beats Carla, she would have beaten
Carla.
Carla.
Trilogy, if it's a close one.
I mean, you could, but there's nothing to suggest that Whaley or Joanna beat her.
No. I mean, if the Carla fight is close,
maybe. I mean, Rodriguez. I mean, she's probably the next in line to get a title shot if one of these two wins, definitively. But apart from that, she's kind of cleaned out. She's beating Michelle Waterson. She's kind of cleaned out the division. It's just Tatiana Suarez. But again, when is she coming back?
I swear she fought Suarez.
No, she hasn't yet.
No, maybe it's her.
Carla has, but not Rose.
I swear she's coming back soon. So hopefully, we'll get.
Oh, Mackenzie Dern. Could it be Mackenzie Dern?
She's got a lot of work. A
lot
of work. Yeah. Her striking needs to. She needs to go and train with Rose for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, those are the only two in the division, though. Marina Rodriguez and Mackenzie Dern, who she hasn't fought and beat. Apart from Carla, obviously. We are jumping the gun a little bit with Carla.
Yeah, but... Oh, jeez. Sean Strickland's taking shots at Rose and their partner. So, yeah. We'll talk about that offline.
Oh.
Because Sean Strickland, he's going... Pew, pew, pew. He's shooting.
Guys, something
shooting.
else.
I cannot wait. If that fight is true...
Alex
Sean
Pereira.
Strickland versus Pereira. Knee up the middle, please. KO this fool.
Yeah.
Please. But predictions before we move on?
I'm going Rose TKO, second round.
I'll go Rose, third round. Head kick. Just see it. See it.
I reckon TKO via strikes.
Yeah. Right, next fight. Fan favourite. The fan favourite fight, Chandler versus Ferguson. Both on some losing streaks. But Uncle Dana said they're not getting cut. Should either lose. So, which is good. I don't know where that will lead their respective careers.
I mean, that'll be... If Tony loses, this will be his fourth loss in a row.
Ugh.
He's fought killers. Don't get let's not make any bones about it. He's fought Gaethje's ranked number 1. Oliveira is a champ, and Dariush is ranked number 3 or 4. So it's not like he's fighting your lower ranked fighters.
It's not fighting Jim Miller. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, sorry, Jim. But I mean, still 4-fight losing streak.
Yeah.
And the way he's been getting beaten, like the Gaethje fight was hard to watch at certain points.
Yeah.
Oliveira was a beatdown, and Dariush. And this is what I was gonna say. Tony's not fought since the Dariush fight. I think Dariush messed his knee up in that fight.
Yeah. I think
that's
he had surgery.
Yeah,
100%. Because he looked.
I think he took time out.
Yeah, and maybe that's what he needed. Time away makes us the fans wanting to come back. Yeah. But this is an interesting fight because I think Chandler's ranked 5 and Tony's ranked 7.
7, yeah. But here's the thing: a win for Chandler does nothing for him in a bad way.
I don't want to. But I'm not ready to see a rematch. But I did see Dustin Poirier's eyeing up the winner.
What's going on with Nate and Poirier? I thought that was the route they were going to go down.
No. Nate's getting buried on the way out.
Yeah.
Like Dana's going, what you on the fight, Jake Paul? Hamza. Deal with this.
Yeah.
Deal with this guy. Well, which is a shame because I wanted I wanted McGregor trilogy before his last fight. We all would have wanted it.
Well, I thought that's what they were holding out for. I thought they were holding out on Nate to get the Conor fight over the line. Because that is the perfect fight for Conor to come back to. Nate's gonna throw leg kicks and try and take him down. They're gonna have a standing trading fight, and kind of that's what Conor needs right now.
Money, yeah, but yeah. Do you see Conor on you seen some images of Conor saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna ditch alcohol and not smoke the green stuff," and then what comes out of him smoking the green stuff. So yeah, like he's going in that John Jones category. Put up or shut up now, because like you're not even medically cleared yet, and you're calling people out. But it's gonna be interesting to see where he comes back. And don't give him Usman. Don't give him Usman. Don't yield to him saying I want 170 pounds, because he doesn't deserve it. Does not deserve it at all.
Plus, that's a horrible weight division for Conor. I'm not gonna lie.
He'll get killed.
He's better off trying to go back down to 45.
It's too big. It's too big now. Yeah, Volkanovski said he'll meet him at 55 because he wants his head as well. But speaking of Michael Chandler, obviously came off that war with Gaethje. When you have wars, it's great for us to watch. It's great as fans, but you always leave a piece in the octagon. And I wonder if he's fully recovered from that war with Gaethje.
I think he has. Chandler has had a long career, but I don't think he's taken crazy punishment. He's taken punishment, obviously, but not crazy punishment. Shall I tell you what it is with Chandler? And I think he's been doing this since he's come to UFC because of sort of the backlash. And UFC fans are very tribalistic sometimes when it comes to Bellator fighters coming over, etc. I think he wanted to become a fan favorite, so fought like he was trying to become a fan favorite rather than just fighting his style. I think if he fought his style, he would have made the fight against Oliveira a lot harder.
If he wrestled, because he's a wrestler.
Yeah. And same with Gaethje. I think he would have tied Gaethje out potentially, and he would have been able to get some strikes in and maybe stopped him. He fought crazy in that Gaethje fight. Like, Henry Hoof was going off on him.
Like, so chin out. I'm shocked Gaethje didn't finish him. That's why it's a little bit of hope that Gaethje won't finish Oliveira. But, you know, like, stranger things have happened. But what happens to the winner? What happens if Tony wins?
If Tony wins...
do you want to see him versus Poirier? Because that seems like a fun fight, but it just seems like it'll just get butchered again.
That would be the fight I'd go for. I would go for Poirier. Well, I mean, Poirier's sitting there because right now, your champion Oliveira is tied up with Gaethje. Dariush and Makhachev are tied up. Poirier's the only one sitting there without an opponent.
Without a dance partner.
It's Poirier. Poirier gets the winner of this fight for either of them.
And what happens to the loser? Because Dana said loser doesn't get cut.
The loser might get Conor.
Ooh, I not gonna lie, I think the winner gets Conor. I think the winner gets him because it looks better if Conor beats someone who's won. Because if you give him like Ferguson on a 4-fight losing streak, people say, "Oh, I beat Tony. He's on a 4-fight losing streak." Or if you give him Chandler, it's like, "Oh, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. Who cares? Fought someone that's won." So I think he gets the winner. I think the loser gets Poirier. Because Poirier needs a dance partner, like, soon.
But then again, if you're Poirier and you're ranked, second in the division?
Yeah.
If Ferguson loses, that's 4 fights. What does that do for you? If Chandler loses, that's 3 fights. What does that do for you?
There's nothing. It's just... I'm just having a look at the rankings, because unless the UFC are ready to give some of the ones that are bubbling underneath the likes of Conor, like Rafael Fiziev, Gregor Gillespie, Gamrot, Ferreira, Riddle, like, if it's their time to jump up and go, right, I'm at the table now. But there is another name that's floating around that hasn't got a dance partner. Rafael dos Anjos.
Oh, shout.
He's ranked number 7. He hasn't got a dance partner at the moment. Maybe the loser gets him.
Maybe.
Would you run back Ferguson versus RDA, or would you run Chandler or RDA?
That's a shout. I forgot about RDA. I don't think Conor takes the RDA fight.
No.
I think that would be a terrible fight for Conor to come back.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think RDA beats, especially being southpaw, RDA beats up his legs and takes him to the ground and makes a horrible fight for him. You might
lightweight's a little bit like this. Like lightweight is like you're waiting now. It's a waiting game.
RDA for the loser and Conor for the winner could be. You might be right, but again, where does Poirier? What happens to Poirier then?
That's the thing. Like Covens called
Poirier,
him out,
does
but
Poirier just take a big muddy fight against someone at 70 maybe?
But the thing is, who would you pair him up with?
I don't know.
Like who?
He's not
like
gonna fight.
Gilbert,
He said he's not.
I swear, like Gilbert said he'd stand and bang. I'm thinking, yeah.
I like the Gilbert fight.
So I like that, and then you're looking around saying, you won't take Masvidal, they're mates. He's not going to take Hamzat because he's getting fed Diaz. You're not going to do Colby because Colby's chipped his tooth, got brain damage. So if he's got brain damage, then he's not fighting in the UFC again. So he's done. Yeah. So let's cut that. And then he's not going to fight anyone that's undefeated at welterweight. So he's sort of sitting there twiddling his thumbs. Or you go, hey, Poirier, do you want bad day? You want bad day? Do you want to run back McGregor again?
Well, he said he won't fight Conor again.
No.
That division is a little tied up when you look at it. You kind of need the fights to play out, and then you'll see where to go next.
Or you need someone like 10th go. You need like Rafael Fiziev
to break in.
I'm ready. Because he was going to fight RDA, but coming back to this fight, predictions.
I'm going to go for Chandler decision. I think Chandler wrestles him.
You know what? They're going to have to agree.
I don't think we're going to see a fun, entertaining fight, personally.
I think it's going to be a boring fight.
Yeah, I think Conor just closes distance and takes him down and then keeps him there.
Keeps him there, and then it's going to be tough because I love Tony, but when you go into one too many wars, the chin's never the same, the body's never the same. He needs to go up to 70. In my eyes, he'll have a lot more fun at 70, less of a weight cut. Yeah, I think Tony times could be running out soon. Next on the card, got St. Preux versus Shogun. Quick one, not done much research because I saw the first two. I was like, really? That's fight night level.
Yeah.
Not pay-per-view. If you're in America and you're seeing the first two and you're going, Dana, get out.
This all depends on OSP. If OSP turns up and wants to fight, then he'll win. If he kind of labors around, I think it's going to be a scrappy 3-round fight, and he'll probably go to a split decision win to Shogun. OSP turns up, OSP wins this fight on the feet or on the ground.
Yeah, same. I think I've seen OSP fought a heavyweight not a while ago and got battered. So I think it's back down at like a heavyweight where he probably belongs. Yeah, probably gonna go OSP as well. And then last fight on the main card, the opener, the Legends League. The Cowboy got very emotional speaking about his son. So if you're watching him ringside, she's gonna get finished in the first round.
I don't have a good feeling about this for Cowboy. Again, Cowboy's another one that I love to bits, but
every Cowboy needs to hang up the hat.
It's catching up with him now. And look, Lozon has had some grueling fights and some horrible fights in there himself, but he just seems a little fresher than Cowboy. And I think he's got a few more routes to victory.
Yeah.
I think Lozon's going to do it. I think he's going to stop him in the first or second round.
I was gonna say he's gonna finish it in the first round.
I just look, every time Cowboy loses, it hurts because I'm just like he's probably one of the better fighters to never win UFC gold, and he's also a fan favorite. Like he never turned down a fight, and this is where it's like when fighters say fighting's not a tough man's sport, it's a smart man's sport.
Yeah.
Him being tough has worked against him because him not saying no to fights has actually come back to bite him. Yeah, and it's sad to see it because if you're writing a film, Cowboy's the one who wins the belt in the end because he's done so much for UFC, he's done so much for the sport, never turned down a fight, he's saved cards, he's saved athletes getting cut from cards and made sure they got paydays, but he's not got the gold to show for it. He's never going to be able to show his grandkids and do those interviews in the future where he's like, yeah, there's my gold belt, I won that. And it's a shame. I'd love him to win it, but it's not going to happen now. It's just moved on without him, unfortunately.
It's heartbreaking, but yeah, I think he's going to get finished. I think if he loses, I think he needs to hang up the cowboy hat. Someone has got to tell him, Cowboy's enough. It's enough.
He won't know. He will still take more fights.
It's enough. And this is where it's UFC's responsibility to go, no more. You're done.
But
you've done
even
your time.
Even if UFC cuts him, Bellator would take him.
Would they?
Yeah.
Nah,
he's a name. Bellator would take him. I don't think ONE FC would take him.
No, ONE FC, he'd get mullered.
Yeah, I don't think PFL would either.
Eagle FC.
Eagle FC, I think, would take him.
Yeah, could have him versus Kevin Lee at 65.
I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Hey Khabib, we're doing your job. Fight me.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. He will always have a suit because he's a big name in the sport.
Yeah, it's just a shame the way he's gone out. Hopefully, I just want him to get. I don't want to get wants one more win, and then he goes, yeah, I can do it. He's like on 1-6. No. Is it lost 5-1 no contest?
Yeah, something like that.
Or was it one draw to Nico Price?
I can't remember the last time he won.
Hold that. Let's see when Cowboy Cerrone last won a fight.
Yeah.
Because it ain't gonna be pretty.
It's not, is it?
Cowboy Cerrone. His record is abysmal. Yeah, that's a record you get when you've been around the game too long.
Yeah.
Okay, accept. No contest, Nico Price. Lost to Gaethje. Aliquinta 2019.
Literally 2019, 3 years. That was May the 4th, 2019.
Then lost to Ferguson, Gaethje, McGregor, Pettis, Nico Price, no contest. Lost to Alex Morono. Last fight.
But if you look at the stoppages, TKO doctor stoppage against Ferguson, TKO against Gaethje, TKO against Connor, unanimous decision against Pettis. If I'm not mistaken, I thought he may have won that Pettis fight. I think he was a bit unlucky not to get the decision there.
Yes.
Nico Price again overturned, but if I'm not mistaken, he lost that fight and then it was overturned, right?
Yeah. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And then Alex Morono again TKO. Like, he's not losing decisions; he's getting beaten up.
Quick. And not competitive. That's why his little image didn't make the bottom.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't make the bottom. Let him headline a fight night and go, Donald, you're done. It is what it is. Right, everyone that's tuned in, thank you very much for watching. We'll be doing smash the like. We're on our road to 10k. 10k. Let's see if we can get it done. We'll be doing a preview on Sanderson's show, and then we've got a watch along this weekend. super late because we like to do it to ourselves in the UK, but it's free, so I'm not complaining. So
Exactly.
it comes at a price. Comes at a price, but that's the price I'm willing to pay. So it is what it is, I suppose. But everyone, make sure to subscribe to Sanderson Show, subscribe to Kopish, make sure you follow Callum on Twitter as well, and make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you all